Hey friend, it's Brittany from Brittany Rose Wellness, your health and wellness coach, specializing in mindset around clean eating, positive body image, meal prepping, and movement. And I wanted to come with a training. It's been a while since I did a video, and I wanted to um, make this training for you. I was at work yesterday, and I was coming back from vacation, feeling how hard it was to like get back with eating healthy. Not that it was a big deal that I wasn't, but it took me back to those days when I got started of, how did I continue eating healthy and what did I do to kind of get back on track? And I realized A, how bloated I was, and B, how I felt not having breakfast that day. I didn't have breakfast. So I was like, okay, what how can I put this into a fun training for you guys? And if you can hear this good, give me a thumbs up, and let me know you're here. Say, hey, I just wanted to make this quick fun training for you. If you didn't know, again, I'm Brittany, a wellness coach inspiring women and mothers to take that fresh start to wellness, finding who they are inside and living their most vibrant life. Breaking those old chains and beliefs that no longer serve us, and inspiring new mindsets to create the healthy habits that we desire to get the healthy lifestyle. So, yeah, that's who I am. And so the first part of my training is how to cut the belly fat, and that one came to me because I know, even though like I'm bloated now, I know that it'll go away by doing these next 5 tips, so I'm not worried. I used to get so hard on myself when, like, let's say I would be skinny one week and then the week would come back, and I used to be so hard on myself, and I hope that you don't do that to yourself. So after this training, if you feel like you have some belly fat, you're going to have some tips to do or to work on to help you get rid of it. So my first tip is to eat consistently, and this one hits me the most because for the longest I've always been a busy person. I'm getting better with that. I'm being more intentional with my time. I try not to use the word busy as much because it's just not conducive to my mental state. So I like to be intentionally doing the things I love to do, not just busy running around, etc. So me being that busy person, I wasn't eating consistently, and that made me bloated because by the time I would eat, and if you didn't know this, when you starve your body, and I don't mean fasting is an intentional way of intermittently not eating food with food, but when your body doesn't realize that you're not fasting, it doesn't know where your next food is coming from, it's going to hold on to everything. So if you're not eating consistently, your body's just going to hold on to everything. That's causing the bloating. So it's something to think about when you think like, I don't have time to eat, or if you have a health goal to have a flatter stomach, consider that it may not be flat because you're not eating consistently. If you're waiting until nighttime to eat after not eating all day, it wreaks havoc on your body. Your blood sugar levels drop, and it's just not good. You get hangry. I get hangry, so I know that people generally will get hangry too, and I don't wish that on anyone. So eat consistently. You can eat consistently by being prepared, by meal prepping, of course, or just having something on hand. It could be nuts, it could be crackers, it could be fruit, bars, protein bars like Quest or Luna. I like those. Yogurt, anything that is fast, that at least will get something. Try to aim for like every 3 to 4 hours if you can. That's normally my good time, as I fill up on things that keep me fueled for that time. And also consider what you're eating too, because if you eat something like chips or candy, those don't last long in our body. So yes, you'll get the quick kick from the sugar or the snack you had, but it's not lasting energy as if fruit or a grain like granola or oatmeal would hold you over. So the first tip in cutting the belly fat is eating consistently. That may sound funny, but you want to lose the belly fat, but I'm telling you to eat more consistently. But you'll notice a difference. And I'd love to hear if you've tried that, or comment below if you tried fasting and see how that worked for you. I'm not a faster. I actually do better when I eat consistently. My stomach stays flat with what I eat, so it works. My second tip is drinking green tea or lemon water in the morning. So green tea has a lot of positive benefits for the body. It has antioxidants, and just like the lemon water, it naturally flushes your system. So that's another great way to combat belly fat, is by drinking green tea or water. I like my green tea with honey. I actually started with lemon water, but I drink green tea now. And I also like lemon water for energy too, a nice energy way. And green tea has a nice energy too. So the thing I do now is green tea. It's helped me for years now. So if you really want to cut the belly fat, think about swapping one of your sugary drinks with the green tea and see how that is. You could have it iced or hot. Again, I like mine with honey. Just stay away from the sugar. If you're going to sweeten it, definitely stick with a natural sweetener like honey, or or if you use the sugar sparingly. And my number 3 tip is making swaps for bread. So I was doing a lot of reflection over these past few days, and I realized how far I came because we made breakfast one morning, and I realized that I did not have toast. And that was huge to me because I am a huge bread lover. Like, bread should be my middle name along with potatoes. And I remember feeling so bloated back at the beginning of my journey, and I do believe it was due to all the bread. Like, I had to have bread almost every meal. And once I started even just entertaining the thought of swapping something for the bread, it almost lost its control. It lost its control over me. I didn't feel like I needed it anymore. So some swaps for that are wraps, like tortilla wraps. You get to like the gluten-free and the whole wheat. I started with the regular white tortilla wraps. Technically it is still processed, but it's less than 2 slices of bread. So whenever you are starting something new like this, be open to just starting small. Don't expect yourself to overhaul your eating habit after watching one video or after 2 days. Start small, go from having a sandwich to having a sandwich wrap. And then maybe go from having a sandwich wrap to having a lettuce wrap. That's another option, is having lettuce as a wrap. Or like, there are some complex carb too, like grains or sweet potatoes. Any type of carb that gives you lasting energy. Simple carbs, our bodies process fast, which make us crash, which is the white breads, the processed. Yeah, so cutting the bread definitely cut my belly fat. I have been eating bread. I am bloated. I accept it. But yes, if cutting the belly fat is a goal for you, go ahead and swap the bread and see what happens. And my 4th tip is not eating right before bedtime. This one is still something that I'm working on because after I get off from work, I get off at work from 4 to 5 sometimes, and sometimes I don't eat until I'm like getting ready to go to bed, and that throws my digestion off so bad because I just ate a heavy meal, now I'm going to sleep, and it's kind of a vicious cycle. So once I got out of the habit of eating late at night, I noticed a big difference, and now I'm kind of slinked back to it, but I'm working on that too. But yeah, try to, and that will help by eating consistently. So 1 and 4 work together. If you're eating consistently, you shouldn't feel starved before bed, because you can't go to bed hungry. That just does not feel good. So yes, eat consistently and do not eat before bed to cut belly fat. And number 5 is self-awareness. And that self-awareness just means self-awareness of the food you eat and what it does to you. So I notice Like some people say dairy bothers their stomach, and they are aware of that because it made them feel some type of way after eating or drinking it. I want you to start considering, what does your food make you feel like? If it makes you feel sluggish and tired, maybe it's time to either swap it or find a healthy alternative to, feel good, because your food should make you feel good, and how you feel is a good indicator if that's happening for you. And it's important to cut the belly fat, because you can't cut our belly is just one part of our body, but we can't lose just one part of our body, so it's a collective thing as a whole. So just being aware of the food you are putting in yourself puts you ahead of cutting the belly fat, which that was one of my biggest motivators when I started my wellness journey, was to lose the belly fat. You lose the belly fat, have a flat stomach, and that wasn't really a realistic goal. It's nice to want a flat belly, but how about we just have healthy bellies? And I get not wanting to have a bloated one. So, that's why I wanted to make this video. If you were interested in finding out ways to cut the belly fat, these are a few steps that'll help you do it. But also know your belly is fine just the way it is. And unless you feel like it's for health reasons why you want to improve it, your belly size, then I'm all for it. But don't do it out of anything but self-love. Okay, so that was the first part. Top 5 tips to cut the belly fat. Eat consistently. That's by having things on hand. That can be a shake, smoothie, a bar, anything every 3 to 4 hours. Try to keep and stick with the clean foods, clean eating, and yes, don't let yourself get starved, because your body holds on to it. And when your body doesn't know when the food's coming, it releases cortisol, which is stress, a stress hormone that makes us hold on to fat, especially in the midsection. So do yourself a favor by getting ahead of your hunger and cutting that cortisol from even being let out because you aren't hungry. And number 2 is drinking green tea or lemon water. Number 3 is make swaps for bread, which can be wraps, lettuce wraps, or a complex carb such as quinoa or brown rice, anything like that. And not eating right before bedtime is another way. That's number 4. Number 5 is self-awareness and seeing how your body reacts to the food you eat. So if it's making you feel sluggish, it's making you feel bloated, maybe you shouldn't eat it. And so my second part of this training is 3 quick breakfast tips, because again, like I was saying the other day, I kind of been going on this train where I forgot how important breakfast was, and I did not have breakfast one day, and it was terrible, and I had to make a green smoothie because I knew if I didn't have something for breakfast, I know I'm a kind of person that needs food. So whether it's the shake, which is technically a drink, but I have to have something, or cueing hangry Brittany, and she's no fun. So my 3 quick breakfast tips are, you could have a shake or a smoothie. So this can be a protein shake or a green smoothie. I've used both. I will say when I was 70 pounds, protein shakes for breakfast really jump-started that for me, because I had sustenance for the morning, and it was a no-brainer. So if losing weight is important to you, maybe considering swapping breakfast for a shake or a smoothie. And if you're not a protein shake person, there's a lot of green shakes or green smoothies out there that are great. I love green smoothies because you can pack so many night vitamins and nutrients in that shake, and you can drink it. You don't have to chew it. You don't need a fork or a spoon, especially if you are working. And another thing I love about shakes and smoothies, if you work, it's just your drink. You don't have to hope you have time to eat or find the time. It's right there for you. Number 2 are bars. So that could be like a granola bar or a protein bar, like Quest. There are Lunas, Cliffs, anything like that. Anything that's handheld, I love, because that means that it can come with me. I don't have to feel like I don't have food, which is really hard, again, too. If you're busy, I know what it's like. So, be prepared for yourself and just have something ready to go for breakfast so that you're not going until noon starving, or going until not eating until dinner, which is terrible, which kind of ties into the eating consistently, which is why I wanted to do these two trainings together, because they kind of tie into each other. The breakfast, eating breakfast will cut your belly fat too, as I said, because when you eat breakfast, your body doesn't think you're starving, so it won't hold on to it. And number 3 are egg muffins or some kind of egg breakfast wrap. Not necessarily egg if that's not what you like, but wraps or the muffins themselves are great on the go options because they can be meal prepped, they're fast, and they're easy to warm up and easy to transport. For me, the name of the game for breakfast has to be easy because I have to know I'm gonna eat it, And I hope that this inspires you to think about eating breakfast more, because it can be really hard on our bodies to continually go through that hunger phase. And you do know you're going to eat at lunch, you'll eat later, but your body doesn't know that. Your body just knows it's hungry and nobody's listening to it, so it's releasing cortisol where it's stored in our midsection, and it's a vicious cycle. So let's break this cycle with new healthy habits, which is eating breakfast, eating consistently, eating more whole foods, and cutting the belly fat and just feeling good in our skin. Even if we don't cut the belly fat, we could just feel good with what we eat. It's not always about what we look like, it's really how we feel. And that's why I'm so passionate about being a wellness coach and sharing this. I know everyone wants to look good, but I want you to feel good. I want you to feel so good that you look good just by default, right? Because you feel so good. And but yeah, that was my training for you. I just had the 5 cutting belly fat tips and the 3 quick breakfast tips, which is shakes and smoothies or bars, granola, protein, that's up to you, and 3, the egg muffins or the wraps. So yeah, here's my live training. It's been a while since I did one. Stay tuned. Oh yes, and I also wanted to make some announcements. So I love podcasting so much. I am going to be doing one every Thursday, and I'll be sharing them here. And so my next one coming up is what is the clean eating mindset and how to know if you have one. I'm excited to share that with you because I'm really big on mindset. I do believe clean eating and eating healthy is a given in this industry. You can learn the things, hear the things, but do you really know why, or why it's not working for you? Like, why are we eating healthy and why isn't it working? If we know what to do, why aren't we doing it? And I also wanted to start with the clean eating mindset because when I do my research and I ask people what are their biggest struggles with, it's food. So I want to dive deep into how can we craft our mindset to living and eating clean and liking it and not feeling punished to eating our vegetables because we want to look a certain way. What if we just want to feel good and fuel our bodies with the energy once, and having our treats on the side too. And that's another important thing I'm going to touch on is none of this is perfect, or I will never say that I won't eat french fries, because I will, but that's because I worked on my mindset with food, and I'm okay with eating fries, but I'm also okay with meal prepping my healthy meals as well. It's all about finding that balance and the love for yourself to keep it. And so stay tuned. I'm so excited. Thanks for being here. Drop a comment below if you like this live, if you had a good takeaway, and I will see you next time. Have a good day.